Hello, and welcome at another tutorial about the Korg Pa5X. In this tutorial we are going to take a look at how to get into the organ module. There is a really good organ engine in the Pa5X, but it's really hard to find. And when I say hard to find, it's really hard to find. But in this video I'm going to show you where to find the organ module and how to program it. And also I'm going to show you 20 presets that I've created, how to program the organ yourself for different kind of music like jazz, worship, church or pop rock. So at first when I got my Korg Pa5X I couldn't find the organ module, and it's hidden in the control section of your style or song. But you can't see the organ module when you go to the control tab. So you need to load it to get that engine available, and it's really easy to do. Just press the keyboard set and go to the factory set and go to the organ tab. There you see all kinds of organs, and when you select one of the drawbar organs, for instance the first one, you have a good setup of the organ module. Now when you go to the control section you won't see the organ module yet. It's there but you can't see it, and that's because you need to activate the drawbar tab. And you also have a button for this, and when you press this button, easy edit /DWB drawbars, then you see that it's going to modify the control section to a drawbar organ. And this is the most important screen for your drawbar organ, and you have access to all the drawbar items, so we can add, and we can enable and disable the buttons beneath them. So this whole section now is acting like a drawbar organ control panel. So really easy to maintain once you know how to do it. So let me do it again. When you're on the main page, select one of the keyboard sets, go to the control panel and press the easy edit /DWB button. And now you're in that section. But it doesn't stop there. If you want to do some extra programming and go really into depth, just press that button again, and now you are in the complete control of that organ. You can set up everything like the percussion, the leakage, how much leakage is, and leakage is basically the aging. It's something like cross-talking between the pipes. An overdrive amplifier, the Leslie rotor, the drawbars of course, and the vibrato and chorus settings can be set over here. A lot of control available to program your own organ sounds. But first let's go to the basics and see what all these kind of things mean, because it's important that you know what these kinds of things do to create every organ sound you have in mind. So let's disable every setting by pressing all the items up, and all the buttons are also disabled. So when we play it now you won't hear anything because the organ is basically now producing no sounds. So how does an organ work? The numbers above the faders are the pipe lengths of a pipe organ. And there are some things that you need to know. For instance, the 8 length is a standard sound of an organ. So when we open that one, you will hear one tone for that specific sound. Now every whole number is a so-called fundamental tone, and a fundamental tone is basically that the tone that you are playing is actually the note that you are playing. So if you're playing an F, you will hear an F tone. All the faders with fractions behind it are called overtones and aren't real pure tones for that note. So if we add for instance that black note, you will hear it's not an F anymore. That's the difference between the whole numbers and the fractioned numbers. So if you want to have pure tones, always use only the whole numbers. And if you want to create mixtures of your sound, a little bit more dirty, then add in some of the other ones. Okay. Now what does the 8, 4, 2 and 1 mean? Well, basically every time it's divided, it's an octave higher. So if we add an 8 note and we play the F, oh no, let's play the C. And the C above it is this one. Well, if we lower the 8 and press the 4 again, and we play the middle C, you will hear. And when we play the 2, it will constantly add up some of the octaves to that sound. So you can now combine those octaves to create your organ sound. So if you want, for instance, a C with this note, we can add the 2 on top of that. Now basically when I disable this, it would be the same as this one when we play the 2 notes together. And when we use the 4, it will add that note on top of it. So if we play that, it will be exactly the same. And when we press the 1, which is this note, you will hear that it's added to that note. Now, why is that important to know? Well, you also see that we can set it to different values, and that's the intensity of that note. So you can colorize how much of that note is added to your default sound, and that's something not possible if you play multiple notes together. They will always be of even loudness. So now I've created a specific setup, and we can say, hey, I want more of the 3rd note, and I can even do an octave below with the 16. So really nice. So that's the purpose of the whole notes. So this way you can create your own sound. So when we are looking at the fractioned ones, when we are playing a basic note like a C, you can enter a octave higher, the 2 to 3rd, which is basically a 5th note. So we are adding this note. So add that note to the, and you will hear. So now we are entering a overtone note, which isn't the actual C. Actually, we are adding a G to that C note to create a new organ sound. And if we are going to use a different intensity of that, it will add some overtones, that 5th, so that it always sounds great. And we can do the same with the 3rd and another one. So if you want a dirty sound, you can add those overtones on top of it, and it will not sound smooth anymore. You get a little bit of a dissonant sound, which is really great for organ sounds. Then we have the buttons beneath it, and let me load up a default setup. This is a rather common organ sound. Okay, and now we have the buttons beneath it, and we can add some percussion on top of them by pressing the percussion button, the first button. It will basically add a little noise to that note. So let me add a different sound, and when we are using the percussion and we are adding the harmonic, you will hear that it adds a different overtone to that sound. It's subtle, but it's there. We have the leakage, and leakage is basically crosstalking between the pipes, and it's basically an aging process of organs. So you will hear some sounds coming through that's normally not there, but it will add some character to your organ sounds. The key on and key off are the sampled items that when you press a note, you will hear now like you hit the key. The vibrato is the vibrato setting. Straight vibrato. The overdrive is if you want to have some overdrive amplified sounds. The rotary is the Leslie sound. And with the brake you can stop it. And you can also activate the rotary with the upper movement of your joystick. So those are the basic settings of programming your organ sound. And when we are going to look in the presets, I have to show 20 presets, and it matters a lot how you set up these things for the original sound. And we are going to look at some famous sounds and some worshipping sounds and some pop sounds. Okay, let me add a quick setup. And let's look into the advanced mode. We have now entered the overdrive module. We have the vibrato active, the leakage and the percussion. And we have all those elements over here. First let's look at the vibrato. Let's disable all the other ones. And when you look at the vibrato, you have multiple settings. And when it's set to on, you can set it to custom. You have a vibrato 2, 3 and 1. And you have the chorus 1, 2 and a 3. And basically it's the depth and speed of the vibrato settings, so you can tailor it. So let's activate it, and when we press a sound, and when we are going to modify it, you'll hear the difference. Slow, very fast. So you have different type of vibrato settings that you can choose from. Depending on what kind of sound you are looking after, you can use this setting. Well, for this one, Then we have the amplifier, and with the amplifier overdrive you can set the gain of the sound. You can make it dirty or less dirty. So let's add up the gain. Remove some of the bass, add some middle. Remove some of the treble. You will hear that it's distorting a little bit now. So also a nice thing to have in your sound arsenal. The percussion is set over here. You can set it to on, and with the percussion you can set this one up to your liking. So hard volume. You will hear some more overtones. A fast or slow decay. The harmonic. First or all mode, and this is a special one when you are entering percussion type of sounds. And when you hold a note and it's set to first, then all the following notes won't have that percussion item again. If you hold it and you set it to all, then every note will have that percussion again. So you will hear that it adds that one to them. Then we have the tone section. We can add the mellow sounds. And when you add the bright section, it will add some extra tones. Well, the same applies to the leakage. You can set the amount of aging by setting the level. And the key on, key off, well, those are self-explanatory. The key on, key off level of the sample that is added to it. The rotor is the Leslie rotor, and you can set the balance between the horn and the rotor. So let's add that. So we have the sound now. You can set it to hear only the rotor. or even the horn only, or any mixture between them. If the fast or slow, you can say, hey, I want to slow down the rotor. And with break you can even stop it. So these are the advanced settings that you can use. Well, if you press the drawbar again, you come in the standard overview again, where you can program your settings in an easy way without focusing on the advanced stuff in the organ module behind it. Let's look at a few of the presets that we have. I've created a lot of presets for myself, and let's start with the jazz ones. And there are a few famous jazz artists with famous organ presets that are widely available over the internet. And we have the Charles Earland setting over here when we go to the control settings. And basically that's the setting how to do it. You set the first 4 to the maximum and the last one to a 2. So when you are creating this preset, use the following setting: 8888 0000 2. And you set the percussion to on, and the vibratos you also set to on. Then you have that Charles Earland sound. Then when you are playing it with a style, it sounds like this. Well, and so on. Let's go to the next preset, the Errol Garner preset, and it's also advisable to look these guys up on YouTube because they have great organ songs. And the Errol Garner sound is like 8 0 0 0 0 6 8 8 6, and you set the vibrato and rotary to on. Etc. The groove horns, also a very famous type of sound in the jazz community. That one is done with this setting. It's 888 0 0 0 0 0 4, and only the vibrato is set to 1. And you hear that small overtone. Let me disable the very subtle add-on of the one pipe. Next one is called Jimmy Smith, and that one is 888 0 0 0 0 0 2. And for this one you set the percussion, harmonic and vibrato to on, and then it sounds like this. It has a much more harder sound, because we are using the percussive sound. Very nice sound to play with. The last jazz one is the Tony Monaco sound, and let's load up a blues one. And that one is also a really nice organ sound. This one is 8485 02 020. And you set percussion, leakage, vibrato and overdrive to on to get this sound. It sounds like this. So a nice gospel blues type of preset. Okay, let's go to the worship presets, and we are going to speed up this tutorial. Okay, the worship dark tone is 8888 and only the vibrato active. So so a nice sound. The next one is the mellow talking. It's a much lighter sound. That's basically for supporting the talking. So very light sound, and that's 0, 0, 8, 8, and the rest is 0, and only vibrato is set to 1. Next one is the worship solo organ, if you need to give a solo. That one is 0, 8, 8, 8, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2. And the rotary is on, the harmonic is on, and the percussion is on. Very nice and very present sound. Another one, just some supporting sounds, and that's an Leslie sound. That one is 3, 0, 8, 6, 0, 0, 0, 3. And you set the leakage on, the vibrato, and the rotary. So it's a little bit more, characterly based sounds. Very nice. And the last one for the worship is the vibrato sound, and that one is 0, 0, 8, 8, 4, 6, 0, 0, 3, and only the vibrato is set to 1. Okay, another one, the church presets. Let's go to the church presets. Here we have a bright church. That one is 7, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 0, 0, 6, and vibrato is on. So you hear all these different kind of flavors in all these organ modules just by combining those faders and the settings beneath it. And you can all do this on this panel. So it's really powerful. Now it's a church organ. And of course you can add reverb and those kind of things to it. But these are the basic settings for those kind of sounds. A full Leslie sound for the church. It's not really in a normal way to do for church things, but... And that one is 8, 8, 8, 8, 6, 8, 7, 6, 7. And vibrato and rotary is set to on. Next one, the church soft and bright, is a soft sound with a bright overtone. So 8, 0, 8, 4, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, and vibrato and overdrive are set to on. Next, the soft tone, very soft sound, only 16 and 8 are set to 8. So 8, 0, 8 and the rest is 0, vibrato and overdrive is set to on. Church vibrato. 8, 0, 8, 8, 0, 8, 0, 0, 8 and vibrato set to on. And you can eventually set the Leslie to on. Okay, the last section, the pop sounds. A little bit a cheesy pop organ. 0, 0, 8, 4, 0, 3, 0, 0, 5 and the vibrato set to on. So a really light organ sound which cuts through the dance and pop mixes. Pop dance. 0, 0, 3, 0, 8, 0, 5, 6, 0 with vibrato, harmonic and percussion on. Pop house. 868 00 4 0 0 0 and overdrive to on. A pop rock sound. 888 0 0 0 0 0 0 and vibrato to on. So that's a Procol Harum sound. Let's play it in a minute. And the last one, the pop rock solo. 8 6 0 3 0 0 0 5 2 and percussion is set to on. Very nice sound for rock things. So let's use the organ pop rock with a song called White Shade of Pale. So let's play that one. Yeah, and this type of styles you can find in the factory sound, in the ballad sound. It's called the organ ballad. And well, it's basically the White Shade of Pale sound, so you can use that one. So that's it for now. Let me summarize it. When you are on the main page, You have to select a organ sound from the factory to get the organ module. Select the first one, that's the easiest one, and then your system is set up correctly. Go to the control panel. You won't see the organ, but press the DWB button and it will switch to the organ module, and here you can program your own sounds. If you want to do some advanced sound settings, you can press it again, you come into the advanced module, and when you press the easy edit button again, you come in the original sound again, and you can save the keyboard set with any name that you want, and you can use some of my presets if you like them, which I showed in the tutorial. Also keep in mind that there are more organs which are based on samples only, and for instance I like these kind of organ sounds. So it depends on what you want, and the big organs are also in there. But that won't have the settings, because that's not the Hammond organ. So keep in mind that if you want the Hammond organ, select the first one, and this icon gives it away, and then you have the settings again. So that's it for now. I hope this helps, and have fun creating your own organ sounds.